The storm will test you. The world will try to break you. But you must learn to act as if survival was always your destiny. You weren't made to crumble, you were forged for the fire. When you act like you were meant to endure, you unlock resilience, clarity, and inner strength that fear cannot touch. But if you hesitate, you give weakness permission to lead. Will you stand tall through the trial or bow before the pressure? And the outcome is already forming by your mindset. In just a few moments, you'll learn how to command your mind to survive, adapt, and rise through any storm. You are stronger than you believe. There is a voice inside you that whispers when no one is around, "I can't go on." But that voice is a lie. You were meant to survive what you are facing. The fire you're in was not made to burn you. It was made to refine you. Every human being, when put under pressure, either breaks or becomes unbreakable. Which one you become is entirely up to you. When you act as if you were meant to survive, your mind shifts from panic to power. Struggles don't disappear, but you stop shrinking before them. And that single shift in posture makes the impossible possible. Because survival is not about conditions, it's about conviction. Most people fail because they wait to feel ready. But survival isn't a feeling, it's a decision. You act strong not because you feel strong, but because your life demands it. Take Winston Churchill. When bombs rained over London and the world expected Britain to fold, Churchill stood with unshakable resolve. He didn't wait to feel safe to lead. He led, so others felt safe. That's what surviving tough times looks like. You don't run from the storm, you become the storm. So the next time fear tells you to give up, act like you were born for this, because you were. You've survived every dark day before this one, haven't you? Don't forget that. You have already proven you're stronger than what tried to break you. All that remains is to act accordingly. Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. Decide who you will be in adversity. Tough times don't define you, they reveal you. When the world presses down on your shoulders, will you collapse or will you carry the weight and keep walking? The choice is always yours. People wait for the storm to pass. Winners learn to dance in the rain. You don't get to decide the weather of life, but you do get to decide how you respond to it. When you decide in advance that you are the kind of person who rises, then no storm can truly defeat you because you've already claimed your identity before adversity arrived. And when your identity is solid, circumstances lose their power over you. That's the secret most people miss. They think endurance comes from inspiration. It doesn't. It comes from identity. You must ask yourself daily, who am I when things get hard? When Thomas Edison's laboratory burned down, along with years of experiments, he didn't weep. He rebuilt. Not because he wanted to, but because he had already decided who he was. He was not a man who quit. He didn't need motivation. He had a mindset. You must decide the same. When you act like you were built for adversity, you become unshakable. Not because the pain goes away, but because your purpose gets louder than your panic. Stop waiting to feel prepared. Decide, and let that decision carry you through. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Fear only grows if you feed it. Fear announces itself with a thunderous voice, demanding your full attention. It pounds at your door like an unwelcome visitor, insistent on entry. But here's the truth. Though it screams for acknowledgement, you need not answer. Fear casts a long shadow across your path, appearing massive and insurmountable. Yet shadows distort reality. Step into different light, and that giant shrinks to its actual size. The secret isn't fighting fear head-on, it's starving it of what gives it power, your attention. How do you accomplish this? By acting as though fear holds no authority over you. Each step toward what terrifies you diminishes fear's control. Hesitation, however, feeds the very beast you wish to tame. Worry and avoidance are the nutrients fear craves most. With each moment of inaction, fear multiplies its strength, growing roots into your decision-making. This explains why countless dreams remain unrealized. Too many souls nourish what was destined to perish. They water seeds of doubt instead of cultivating courage. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, but rather the decision to act as though victory is already yours. Abraham Lincoln. Before becoming one of America's most revered presidents, he endured 8 election defeats. He faced public humiliation, financial hardship, and periods of profound depression, yet he carried himself as though leadership was his destiny, long before anyone believed in him. This is the master key to conquering fear, entering the battlefield before your emotions have caught up. Fear speaks the language of what if. Courage speaks the language of even if resilience. What if I fail? Asks fear. Even if I fail, I'll learn and grow stronger, answers courage. Starting today, redirect your attention. Stop feeding fear with anxious thoughts and catastrophic scenarios. Instead, nourish your faith with purposeful action. The ability you seek already resides within you. Doubt merely obscures it from view. Every survivor, every champion, every person who accomplished something meaningful began with trembling hands. The difference is they acted despite the trembling. You must do the same. When fear whispers that you're inadequate, answer with action. When it suggests retreat, advance boldly. When it paints pictures of disaster, create masterpieces of hope. The antidote to fear has never been fearlessness. It's faithful movement in the direction of your dreams. Fears are nothing more than a state of mind. States can be altered, minds can be redirected. Fear only grows if you feed it, so choose carefully what you nourish. Walk toward what frightens you. Watch as the shadow shrinks with each determined step. By starving fear of your attention and feeding your courage through action, you'll discover what countless overcomers before you realized. The monster that once seemed unconquerable was merely waiting for you to claim your power. The power of mental discipline pain arrives uninvited throughout life, knocking persistently at your door. Its presence is inevitable, but your response determines whether you'll be conquered or emerge victorious. Survival extends beyond physical strength. It demands rigorous mental training. Your mind must become your greatest weapon rather than your most crippling weakness. The tragedy of modern existence lies in how readily people surrender control to their emotions. They hand over the steering wheel to fleeting feelings, then express shock when their lives careen off course. True power emerges when you seize control deliberately. You must train your mind with the dedication of an elite soldier. Each thought carefully selected, every reaction intentional rather than reflexive. Strength never materializes through wishful thinking. It develops through consistent, disciplined training. When pressure mounts and others retreat, your conditioned response must be unwavering. Stand your ground. History provides us profound examples of mental discipline in action. George Washington led the Continental Army through brutal winters at Valley Forge, where soldiers endured starvation, freezing conditions, and seemingly insurmountable odds. What separated Washington was not just his leadership, but his extraordinary mental discipline. He systematically trained his men, and more crucially, conditioned his mind to anticipate hardship without breaking. This exemplifies discipline's transformative power. It forges a mind that remains steadfast when tested. The cultivation of mental discipline cannot be postponed. You must begin immediately. The undisciplined merely react to circumstances, tossed about by life's unpredictability. The disciplined respond with intentionality, shaping circumstances to their advantage. Build structured rituals that govern your days. Establish non-negotiable routines that align with your highest aspirations. Master your mornings, for how you begin each day sets its trajectory. Discipline functions as the sturdy rope that pulls you from mental darkness into clarity and purpose. When inevitable storms strike, and they will with devastating force, prior preparation determines your outcome. D. The disciplined mind doesn't scramble for solutions during crisis. It activates pre-established response patterns developed through consistent training. Your preparedness won't result from a more accommodating world, but from your enhanced mental fortitude. Mental discipline manifests in seemingly small choices: rising at the scheduled hour despite fatigue, completing tasks despite discomfort, honoring commitments despite inconvenience. These daily victories compound into extraordinary strength over time. The undisciplined seek motivation before action. The disciplined understand that action precedes motivation. Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. If you don't control what you think, you can't control what you do. Mastering your internal dialogue creates the bedrock upon which extraordinary accomplishment rests. Your thoughts shape your beliefs, which determine your actions, which establish your habits, which form your character, which ultimately decide your destiny. Mental discipline interrupts negative thought patterns before they cascade into destructive behaviors. Begin today. Start small but remain consistent. Identify one area requiring greater discipline and establish clear parameters. Monitor your thoughts without attachment, redirecting them toward productive channels. Construct morning and evening rituals that reinforce your highest values. Embrace discomfort as the necessary pathway to growth. Remember, mental discipline doesn't eliminate life's difficulties. It transforms you into someone capable of confronting them with unwavering resolve. When pain next knocks at your door, you'll answer not with fear, but with the quiet confidence that comes from a rigorously trained mind. Belief is your first line of defense when life's foundation trembles beneath you. What ultimately prevents your collapse? Not wealth, which can vanish overnight, not even your support network, which may falter during true crisis. Your genuine stronghold is belief, unwavering conviction in your destined path, your inherent resilience, and your capacity to outlast this challenging season. Without deep-seated belief, your actions lack foundation. Without belief, survival becomes mere chance rather than intentional triumph. The most transformative skill you must develop is believing before seeing tangible evidence. During life's harshest seasons, external validation becomes scarce. The world may offer no visible proof that persistence matters, but belief functions as your internal guidance system, illuminating your path when all other lights extinguish. This journey begins with a simple yet profound declaration: I was not made to break. This single affirmation can ignite inner fire when your external world feels frozen in darkness. Helen Keller's extraordinary journey. Rendered deaf and blind in infancy, conventional wisdom suggested severe limitation. But through Anne Sullivan's unwavering belief and Helen's disciplined spirit, she systematically dismantled every perceived boundary. She graduated college with honors, authored 12 books, and traveled to 39 countries advocating for those with disabilities. Helen never physically saw hope, yet she believed in it absolutely. That conviction transformed her from someone society pitied into someone the world revered. Belief doesn't deny difficulty, it transcends it. Belief acknowledges obstacles while simultaneously recognizing your capacity to overcome them. It whispers constantly, "This challenge exists, and you were designed to conquer it." Without this foundation, even minor setbacks can appear insurmountable. With it, even staggering odds cannot permanently defeat you. When darkness next surrounds you, resist asking the typical question, how do I escape this situation? Instead, pose the more powerful inquiry, what must I believe to endure this season? This subtle shift changes everything. The first question seeks external solutions. The second activates internal power. Once belief firmly roots within you, appropriate actions flow naturally. Your survival becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Belief operates as both shield and sword. As shield, it protects you from despair's corrosive effects. As sword, it cuts through limitations others accept as permanent. Both functions prove essential for navigating life's unavoidable storms. Cultivate belief daily through deliberate practice. Feed your mind empowering truths rather than destructive doubts. Study histories of those who transcended seemingly impossible circumstances. Document your past victories, however small. Surround yourself with voices that strengthen rather than undermine your conviction. Most importantly, speak belief over yourself consistently, especially when external evidence contradicts it. Remember, belief isn't wishful thinking or blind optimism. True belief acknowledges reality while simultaneously refusing to be defined by it. It recognizes pain while denying pain the power to determine your future. It sees obstacles clearly while maintaining unwavering confidence in your ability to overcome. What the mind can conceive and believe, belief creates the mental blueprint that precedes physical manifestation. When life next tests you, and it surely will, remember that belief isn't just one defensive resource. It's your first and most crucial line of defense. Without it, other strategies crumble. With it, even seemingly insurmountable challenges become temporary hurdles on your path to ultimate triumph.